and this constitution is put into practice. This is called polity. Application of this constitution is polity. But whatever is written in this constitution of India cannot be applied in letter and spirit. Why? Because of something known as human involvement. Understand this. If humans are involved, you cannot predict the behaviors of humans. Humans' behaviors change, okay, time to time, depending upon their socialization or whatever internal and external circumstances they are facing. So whatever is written in the Constitution of India, if it exactly is applied on ground, okay, that's called the sense of perfect polity. But this will never be achieved because of the human factor. So you have to keep human considerations in mind. कि कहाँ पे ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन परफेक्टली अप्लाई नहीं होगा, कहाँ पे ये परफेक्टली अप्लाई होगा, what are the lacunas, what are the limitations, what are the alternatives, and when you keep this human aspect in mind, that is called governance. Governance is nothing but integrating the human factor within the domain of constitution. Whatever is written in the constitution and all the socio-economic, political, cultural, historical factors, human tendencies in collaboration, okay, what will be the ground effect of this constitution? What will be the perfect application of this document, keeping in mind the human involvement, human interface, their socio-political, economic, cultural, everything. And that aspect is governance. Governance is keeping in mind the socio-economic, political, integrating everything. Human aspect ka, you are integrating everything, whatever a human feels or human behavior is, you are integrating it with the constitution. And you are seeing that कि शायद यहाँ पे ये perfectly apply नहीं होगा because of this socio-economic, political, environmental consideration. Then you are keeping alternatives in mind. You are keeping different ways in mind. You are taking different stakeholders into consideration. You are increasing the public participation, inclusiveness, participation, ठीक है? You are taking multiple stakeholders, not state is doing everything. तो ये सारा setup is because of only one thing, there is human involvement. And when you take human involvement in consideration while applying the tenets of the constitution, that aspect is called governance. ठीक है? And in this paper 2, everything will revolve around what? Governance. Everything we will see how Indian administration is like this, जैसे कि अभी Indian administration है. Is Indian administration a product of 1950 constitution only? जैसे कि हमने 1950 में constitution को पूरी तरीके से enact कर दिया, ठीक है? तो is our today's administration the product of this constitution only, or this has something else? It is our constitution a historical legacy, ठीक है? Is our administration, Indian administration right now, a historical legacy, a cultural legacy? अगर ऐसा है तो we have to study about that. और सच में ऐसा है. Our administration is not only the product of the constitution which was framed in 1950. It has evolved over time. ठीक है? And in the Indian administration paper, evolution of Indian administration is your first chapter. Is your So how this Indian administration is like this as we are seeing it today. It is not only the product of what? The Constitution of India. It has certain other factors associated with it. We start the evolution of Indian administration from Mauryan era. Mauryan. And why Mauryan era? We will come to that. Second type of evolution in Indian administration happened in Mughal era. And third type of evolution happened in colonial era. And combination of all the three factors are seen in our constitution. Okay. So what basically in paper 1 we will see, paper 1 we are going to integrate paper 1 with paper 2. We are also going to integrate paper 2 with paper 2. Certain chapters of paper 2 with paper 2. And we are going to see how our Indian administration is like this. फिर इसमें lacunas क्या है, limitations क्या है, उनका way forward क्या होगा, that are secondary things. First, how this administration has evolved. What has led that Indian administration is like this right now. Okay, so basically we choose an era, that era is Mauryan era. Why Mauryan era? Why not the earlier eras? If we go to the historical perspective, Mauryan era से we have a book, a well codified book on statecraft. पहला रीजन ये है. और मौर्यन एरा इज द फर्स्ट सेंट्रलाइज्ड पैन इंडियन एम्पायर ऑफ इंडिया. इससे पहले हमारे पास जनपदास थे, फिर वो महाजनपदास बने, 16 महाजनपदास, एंड उन 16 महाजनपदास में एक मगध सामने आया. फिर डिफरेंट डायनेस्टीज, अल्टीमेटली द मौर्यन डायनेस्टी, चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य, एंड हिज चीफ एडवाइजर, चीफ पॉलिटिकल एडवाइजर, हु वाज ही? कौटिल्य. ठीक है. अनदर नेम चाणक्य, अनदर नेम विष्णुगुप्त. ठीक है. तो यहां से हमें एक पॉलिटिकल ट्रीटीज मिलती है. दैट्स व्हाई वी टेक Mauryan era as the starting point of Indian administration, because it was a pan-Indian empire, it was a centralized empire, and we have a document from this era. So we are now tracing how today's administration is the byproduct of the Mauryan era, how today's administration is the byproduct of Mughal era, how today's administration is the product of colonial era. There is always a concept of change. Change has happened, but there is also continuity. There is a paradigm of change versus continuity in Indian administration. Multiple things are continuing from the Mauryan era to Mughal era and colonial era in today's administration, and multiple things have changed also, depending upon the socio-economic political circumstances of that era. So change versus continuity is the basic essence of Indian administration. We have changed also and we have continued also. What we have changed, what we are continuing, we are going to discuss that. The basic tenet is the Mauryan administration. And from Mauryan we will go to Mughal and then to the colonial era. And hence we will be in a position to say how Indian administration has evolved. Okay? For example, if we talk about Mauryan era, the treatise is what? Arthashastra. Arthashastra. There is a debate among historians that Arthashastra was not